Hello, Berserkers. I am Krista Grady-Saxon, the creator of Filmmaker Berserk. And for those of you who are not aware yet what Filmmaker Berserk actually is, and it is the ultimate rebellion against the broken film industry. And I say that because I am an executive producer who went through absolute hell funding a feature film that we totally believed in with a massive size cast and crew, $1.3 million budget, which is a big budget for a feature film, an Oscar and Emmy winning producing team. And we had two-time Academy Award nominee Bruce Dern, Emmy winner Gail Bellows, Chuck Liddell, a lot of the amazing cast from Sons of Anarchy, Kristen Renton put years into making this and years into post-production even, and only to get screwed over by distributors and find out how the business model really truly works and get inside reporting and access to information that I wish I had prior to making this movie. Would have saved many lives. So I created this for fellow filmmakers who I call berserkers, the people who want to build an empire off their films, want to contribute to their film community by making movies and getting them to stream on the streaming platforms, making a business out of it, who are okay with making money off your films. Because there's a lot of, for some reason, filmmakers who feel this guilt. And of course, that's what the gatekeepers put on you guys, to feel guilty for earning money. That's ridiculous. It's my time now, and it's your time now. So, and it'll take a lot to get us back even what we've already put out in this industry. So, Filmmaker Berserk is the ultimate rebellion against the broken film industry, created by award-winning actress, moi, Krista Grady-Saxon. And it's a high-impact training platform for independent filmmakers, producers, actors, and content creators who are done getting screwed by distributors, who are done being lied to by sales agents and buried in bloated deliverable costs, as well as post-production costs, which our post-production process was 70 grand alone. And to get nothing back off of all of this is kind of heart-wrenching and sickening. And because these are people who thought they were going to get something back, they still live off that money, you know what I mean? But we teach what film school won't: real business strategy, IP protection, AI-powered workflows, and how to protect, fund, and distribute your movie like a studio. So we have AI and non-AI courses. The master course, of course, is for, building the foundation of your film business and understanding how the industry works and how the industry sees you as a filmmaker and your product. And they don't see you as a person. Or we have created this funding pack, and it's a global funding pack for filmmakers like yourself. I mean, the biggest question that we have in the movie industry is, how are we going to get funding? And the reason that it's so impossible to get funding is because investors have run, and word has gotten around that they don't make their money back. And if you watch my other videos where I talk about distributors and all the bullcrap that they pull, and that there's no oversight for them, they're allowed to just do this to you because everybody in the industry is holding hands, and there's no unions that protect the job providers. And that's very unfortunate, because you guys, that's why I guess they want us to keep paying actors time and time again for in perpetuity, because they know that there's no money in the industry and that the investors aren't going to get paid. And I'll tell you what, I got called just to pay out my personal income to give them something to the union SAG. So I was like, you guys, I mean, the distributor reported us in a deficit for the past, year, and you guys are still telling me to just send money? And they said yes. That's how that works. So we created this global guide for indie filmmakers who are looking to fund your film. And this is the 2025 and 26 edition. And this is a Berserker PDF pack. Okay, so you get funded, go global, and stay independent. And throughout this is just a PDF course. So it's not any of the video lessons that you find in the other courses. This is all information that we researched, gathered, and put together for you, that consists of global grants, incentives, and creative ways to utilize them no matter where you live. So you can stack these essentially in your backyard in Tennessee, okay? and you can work together with other companies and, you know, take advantage of these opportunities so that you have a guarantee to pay your investors if you do get angel investors involved as well, and you have a guarantee for them to get paid back. And that's super important because you want to be able to take care of the people that are taking care of you, and then you can actually mitigate all the costs in your post-production and all these things using the tools that we provide and the courses that we offer, so that you can save an exponential amount of money. I mean, literally like 70 to 80% on some of the costs that you find within your budget, your total budget. And this is with, you know, tools that help to streamline, you know, workflows for your pre, during, and post-production process. That'll save a lot of money. So what I wanted to go over here real quick is what a lot of filmmakers are doing now, and it's very smart, obtaining global funding or filming overseas outside of the US, because the US has become so difficult, and there's a lot of incentives in different states of the US. However, there's so much more bang for your buck, I guess that you could say, that you would get filming globally in other territories. And so, and they're so happy to bring films to their areas that they're super accommodating to you. So that's another important factor, because if you go to somewhere like LA, and you can ask any major film producer or a team, and they will tell you that everybody is there with their hand out. I mean, literally, they come up to you, and if you're on a sidewalk and they're like, you're gonna have to give us $2,000 for that because our customers have to walk around this court, so we want $2,000. And then you're like, what the okay, so, you know, there's things that you're impeding upon my business, and I can't have that. So then you got to pay more money and be like, okay, how do I affect you now? How did we hurt you? What are we doing here? And it's like, you got to keep paying all these fees. Everybody comes up with their handout. Or you could do something to rent a car, rent a service, and this and that. And then they show up for set and they say, I'm sorry, the price changed. It's going to be triple what we quoted you. No explanation, no whatever. Then, of course, you know, you have the unions that are coming out, Teamsters that hide in the bushes, and they come out and trip you, and you see their hands in there, and they're like, hey, come here. Or we're going to need some money. And it's like, oh my God, does it stop? It doesn't ever stop. Well, you won't find that when you shoot other places who are super accommodating and are happy and excited to be a part of a major production or independent film that's going on to them. That's a really big deal, and it's fun and exciting. And that's what independent film is all about. We want to have fun with it, right? So we put together this global funding pack for you berserkers. And we talk a little bit about global funding trends for independent film. And we got to look at where the money's flowing and where it's being halted. Okay. So, you know, of course, in this year, we've faced a paradox. While traditional film financing continues to constrict, governments and international markets are quietly unleashing new incentives and partnerships designed to attract global production. And so we provide you the whole battlefield brief, and we go over everything. And in the introduction of this, I talk about how governments are weaponizing incentives. So for example, UK has a new AVIC credit that offers up to 53% for low budget films that are under $15 million budget. And that's a ridiculous amount of money. And I know, but you would definitely qualify because you're definitely going to be under that budget. Don't even think about going that high. I'm going to tell you that right now. But Ireland added an 8% uplift to Section 481 for mid-tier films. Malaysia continues to dominate Asia with its 30 to 35% FIMI rebate. Then you have international co-productions are surging. So say a co-production would be where you would contract somebody out in a different country, say your post-production team over there. And then you can take advantage of incentives that are over in France or Greenland or wherever it could be. And wherever that incentive that you think looks good to you and that you would qualify for, you would contact a team over there, and that's how you co-produce on a film. So you have treaties that are unlocking access to dual funding and wider distribution. So you got Europe, Latin America, and parts of Asia are embracing this, cross-border storytelling. And people are working together, which is really, really awesome. So, and right now, I'm going to tell you, Hollywood is not your ally. Studios are hoarding the IPs. They're stalling payments, as we know. And they're exploiting outdated deal structures. And meanwhile, tech-driven indie films are getting acquired fast, especially when they're structured like a business. So remember that. There are certain incentives as well that having AI tools and knowledge of and utilizing them on your production will help you gain these access to this funding and these grants. So you have private equity and streaming startups, they want in on this. Investors are seeking finished assets or slate packages with built-in incentive strategies. So your leverage is proof you know the game, and that you can reduce the risk and deliver streamer grade masters. And you will be able to do all of that because, of course, with our master course, of course, I don't know why I keep saying that, idiot. But, with our master course, you have access to all of, the streamer grade masters that you are required to have and be aware of and know before you roll camera. So you will be completely organized with everything, and you can get your line producer, your immediate producing team together and find out how you can work together to actually stack all of these incentives. And there are so many variables to work with. You can do something in one country and something else in another country and really co-produce with these different companies to obtain the funding that you need for your feature film. And then, of course, have a guarantee for your distribution because you're a part of all these incentives and networking with these co-producing teams in other countries. So it's really a win-win for everybody as long as, you have the balls to take charge and do all this and take the time to do this and the information. You just need the information. We can't do what we don't know, but when you're aware of it, it's like, holy crap. And now you understand why they're doing this. So it's not about just waiting for permission. This is now about taking control and doing what we want. Stack these incentives like a savage. And creating assets that make these studios irrelevant. You can do your own thing. The power is in your hands now. So what we included with this PDF is I did a couple of I broke down every like Section 481 tax credit. This is the Screen Ireland support and international production trends. And this one offers up to 32% tax credit on Irish expenditure across feature films, TV, drama, animation, creative, doc, VFX, post-production, and games. And it includes an 8% uplift for films under 20 mil with an early payment of 90%. So 125K minimum spend up to 125 million qualified costs. This stimulates domestic crew, training, and post-VFX infrastructure. So what this really means, too, is when you have a guarantee for this funding and this return coming back to you, that's leverage that you can take to potential investors or wealthy people that who say, okay, now we have a guarantee for a return on funding. And then you can structure a deal with them to guarantee payment back on them upon delivery of your movie, upon completion of the movie, because you have these guaranteed incentives and grants and deals that are in the works that they're guaranteed to come back to you. So these are very important. Screen Ireland support funds. Screen Ireland budgeted approximately $39 million in 2024 for development, production, and distribution across film, TV, animation, and shorts. And then, of course, 2025 slate includes 80 plus productions. Spend surged to $430 million in 2024. So they're really benefiting off providing these incentives for all of us. And so that's a total win-win situation. And it's about time that we have situations where we can come up ahead, okay? Because trying to do the starving artist thing and begging people for money and helping and believing in your dream and all that crap, it's not business. It's not business-minded. And you can't do anything and expect a return when you're not going in business minded, right? So you got to have a complete war plan. I'm not going to go to battle or go to war with no weapons. I'm not going to do that. I just put my freaking tennis shoes on and go. No, I want to be ready. So what I did was put together some case studies so I could show an example of stacking these incentives. And throughout this PDF pack consists of everything that you'll need: an explanation, links, access to all the information, so that you don't go in completely blind. You're very well prepared in creating the stacking incentives that works for you. It's really cool. So here I did a case study, called it Blood in the Frame, and it's a Berserker method production. The genre is action drama. The budget is $750,000. So the first thing that I would do with this action drama was run my screenplay through an online platform that helps me to determine audience retention, the revenue viability, and potential box office hit success based on the screenplay itself. When I have this data and information to help me streamline the screenplay and the storyline, then I can determine, okay, so we likely will have a hit based on this, or we need to change this, and this based on what it says here for the emotional arcs of the movie, for character development, for what historically movies have seen success based on this genre, this type of storyline, these emotional moments, and, audience attention and retention, essentially. So we would make sure that we have all that clarified, because then we can put that in our pitch when we do go to our angel investor, what our projected revenue would be for a movie like this on the streaming platforms. I also have tools for Berserkers, customized for Berserkers only, on our filmmakerberserk.com website, where you can go in and actually audit your distributor contracts, or do a budget calculation tool where you type in a series of information and then it will generate a report for you based on the simplest of information, from budget to genre to cast and all that sort of thing, because all these factors matter when it comes to success. And we know when you go global loves celebrity, global loves certain things that you want to incorporate in your film, and you'll learn that as you go through these types of processes that give you this analytical information that's good to have. And this is where the AI stuff is important, so that you can make all the best informed business decisions for your feature film, so that you can get the funding that you need and not worry about losing your own personal money, or your friend's personal money, or your parents, or whoever it may be. You can really go into the big leagues now, because that's where you deserve to be. No more bull, right? So we did the budget $750,000, shot in Georgia, plus a digital backlot, plus using public domain footage. Producers, first-time filmmaker, and a veteran line producer. The tools we use could be Runway ML, Suno, Airtable, distribution plan, direct-to-streamer licensing, plus transactional VOD control. The Warpath, an independent filmmaker burned by a previous distribution partner who took 100% of revenue and delivered no marketing. Decided to burn the blueprint and follow the Berserker method. So no sales agents, no unnecessary deliverable planning, no bagging, just strategy, automation, IP control. So step one, create the proof of concept. And the proof of concept, we would use automation tools and it costs around $1,500. So create a pitch deck, concept trailer, a synthetic concept trailer, just to give an idea, so you can just show your investors, this is where these automation tools come in handy, okay, and character renders. So you can do that before hiring anybody. You spend $10,000 on creating this, and, a teaser trailer, a concept trailer, whatever. We don't want to spend money yet on that. We want to make sure it's going to sell, and we got to make sure that we're going to get the funding, right? So we developed a Berserker format sales deck that included IP ownership strategy, direct streamer pitch, flow, and VOD profit forecast. We saved right here $15,000 in pitch development costs, because that's about what we spent on my movie Nation's Fire, just searching for funding, because we traveled the country, we met with different people who all said, well, how am I going to get my money back? And we said, yeah, good question. We'll figure it out. There's Netflix. That's what we did for real. So the result now, because we had that, and we determined the screenplay, the viability of this potential feature film, we were able to close $100K in angel investment from a local entrepreneur in 14 days. Step 2, stack real incentives without losing your IP. So film 65% in Georgia, qualifying for 30% transferable tax credit, post-sellable. Shot scenes on federal land, avoiding location permit fees. Value about $22,000 was saved. Use public domain footage and AI enhancement for high impact historical sequences. So there's zero licensing fees. License fees can get expensive. We know that. And like, we spent all this money on all this stuff on our previous films only to not get anything from the distributor. We're done with that, you guys. We're done with that. It's time to make money and do it however you need to, even if it's just recouping all that you've put into it and having the capability to pay your cast and crew. Take care of the people that are helping your dreams come true, right? That's how we contribute to our community. And so we got stacked the real incentives without losing our IP. We did all that. Use public domain footage and AI enhancement for high impact historical sequence, so zero license fee. Total value added from the Berserker hacks is $145,000 in non-cash cost savings and incentives. This is something we can share with our investors as well. So that's money back in everybody's pocket. Step 3, bypass post houses, finish with AI plus freelancers. Color grade and DaVinci Resolve using AI assisted loop matching. Audio cleanup with Adobe Podcast 11 Labs for ADR. Now you still use your post houses or whoever it is that if you want to employ somebody for that. We're just talking about where we can mitigate the extreme costs that you risk losing if you don't have a guarantee for your distribution or a pre-sell or something of that sort. So we want to make sure that we cut costs everywhere possible and save money and employ the people that we truly need who deliver on their end. And, you know, that way everything works out without just wasting money and time and energy. And it's all for nothing to lose a film. Okay. So we do color grade, audio cleanup with Adobe Podcast, credits, TCP, and captions built in-house using templates. Final delivery passes Tubi, Prime Video, and Hulu QC specs without post-house markup. This is where you'd save 80 grand in post-production. Okay. So next, step 4, distribute without a gatekeeper. This is my way of how I would do it. So I wanted to provide this for you guys because I want to do it without a distributor. I want to self-distribute my movie, but I want to get it on the streaming platforms that I want to see it on, not just have to be Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime is good too, but I want to do it all, right? So we submitted directly to the streamers with streamer-ready file package built using the Berserker end-to-end delivery system. We license overseas to a niche genre streamer for a flat $12K plus royalties. See, we can license overseas. It's rather difficult if you don't have a sales agent, a middleman, because a lot of the overseas distributors will not talk to producers, line producers, or anybody. They talk to qualified sales agents only. I mean, that's just their thing. But when you are involved with these incentives and these grants that are funded, that might change it a little bit for you and your team. Okay, so you can do that, or just find a sales agent. In our master course, we go over all of that, how to vet and where to find a reliable sales agent and how to contact them and get them on your team with more trusting results. Okay. So then we can, I got another thing in here with direct audience rentals with 92% profit retention. And with the final stack, this is a Shopify-based VOD store for direct audience. And we have the final stack is the source, and I put it in a chart for you guys to see. Source, angel investor, 100K. Georgia tax credit sale, 135K. Cast and crew compensation, 95. Crowdfunded pre-orders, 37K. Direct licensing deal, 12. Self-distribution income, 65. Cost savings via AI, 280 plus. Okay, so result, you can be fully recouped within 9 months. And this is a realistic plan that I'm sharing with you. So we have a couple of these case studies that we provide so you can at least get ideas on what to do and how to approach it. And then, of course, you can rearrange it to the way that you feel is best. And of course, you know, it's Berserker approved because, number one, you set the price. It's not some aggregator or screamer. And this is, I'm talking about, you know, your Shopify-based VOD with 92% profit retention. And I get into clarifying what everything means for you and your production and your film and your money. So you keep the emails for retargeting, control the experience, the trailer, upsells, the merch, and you earn 4 to 6 times more per viewer than the traditional AVOD or TV VOD. So we have a list of examples on here for you and everything in that. And this is just in the PDF pack that we sell on the Filmmaker Berserk website, and you can gain access to it on our courses page there. So with that said, it's good talking to you, Berserker, and we'll see you at filmmakerberserk.com. And don't forget to sign up for the master course as well, because that is something to be proud of. We've got great testimonials on that. And yeah, we'll see you there.